Government orders immediate probe on claim of Israeli container in Johor. Telcos ready to sign second 5G network share agreement. Good evening and Salam Malaysia Madani. You're watching Malaysia Tonight. I am Olivia Nicholas. The investigation into the alleged presence of a container bearing the logo of the Israel-based shipping company Zim at a port in Iskandar Putri, Johor, needs to be expedited. Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said that the country is bound to the government's policy of no diplomatic relations and no trade agreements with Israel.
Jika ada barangan daripada Israel itu yang berada di mana-mana pelabuhan di Malaysia dengan menggunakan pihak ketiga, perkara ini kita harus lakukan pemantauan dan saya fikir pihak lembaga pelabuhan dan juga pihak kastam harus bertindak dengan segera. Kerana kita tahu yang berlaku ini bukan hanya soal perdagangan tetapi soal bagaimana peraturan-peraturan yang begitu ketat telah terbolos dengan adanya barangan itu untuk memasuki salah sebuah pelabuhan kita.
Yesterday, the media reported the presence of such a container raised questions among the surrounding residents. Kota Iskandar Assemblyman Datuk Pandak Ahmad reportedly said that he was surprised to receive a report from concerned residents who claimed that the port was still allowing containers from Israel. On another note, the Deputy Premier said despite the increasing efficiency of police operations, police need more advanced equipment to combat crimes. Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said criminal activities have evolved and police should be provided with better equipment to stay ahead of irresponsible individuals using sophisticated technology to commit crimes.
Dalam hal inilah penggunaan AI umpamanya dan penggunaan IoT adalah antara elemen-elemen penting yang harus diberikan pada pihak peredaran. Dan saya amat yakin Menteri Dalam Negeri yang akan berkunjung ke China selepas lawatan saya ini pasti akan memberikan beberapa pandangan kepada pihak Ministry of Public Security China yang telah bertemu Menteri yang telah bertemu dengan saya untuk membantu pihak polis di Malaysia. Bukan kita tidak ada kerjasama dengan polis di negara-negara lain, tetapi di China adalah antara negara yang mempunyai peralatan dan teknologi tercanggih dalam bidang keselamatan.
The Deputy Premier said this after launching the operations of the Bagan Datuk District Police Headquarters (IPD) in Hutan Melintang. He also noted that the establishment of a single border agency is one of the solutions to combat various forms of border crime. Since it also involves various agencies, Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid noted that such coordination is essential. A total of 28 notices for selling cigarettes to minors were issued by the Health Ministry over the past 2 years. Health Minister Dato Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said that last year 26 notices were issued while 2 notices were issued this year.
Dapatan dalam NHMS ataupun tinjauan kesihatan mobiliti kebangsaan ya, National Health Mobility Survey untuk tahun yang terkini ya, dalam tahun 2022 ini findings yang baru ya. Tolong catatkan sikit, lingkungan umur remaja 13 hingga 17 tahun ya adalah kita dapati merokok menurun. Rokok, cigarette smoking turun. Angka daripada ya 13.8 2017 dalam tahun 2017 kepada hanya 6.2% tahun 2022. So from 13.8 kepada 6.2%. Cigarette smoking menurun. Malangnya ya, untuk saya tegaskan bahawa vaping ataupun penggunaan rokok elektronik ataupun vape meningkat. daripada 98% pada tahun 2017 kepada hampir 15%, 14.9% daripada tahun 2022.
The minister was met after the World No Tobacco Day Segarun 2024 Carnival in conjunction with World No Tobacco Day 2024 at Dataran Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur, DBKL. Last February, the Control of Smoking Products for Public Health Act 2024, Act 852, was gazetted. Mercy Malaysia has expressed its gratitude to the Malaysian Embassy in Amman, Jordan for facilitating the evacuation of 6 members of its emergency medical team, EMT, from Rafah, Gaza. In a statement released today, Mercy Malaysia said the presence and support from embassy staff during the exit process were instrumental. It said the team's exit was also made possible through the invaluable assistance and coordination with the World Health Organization's Emergency Medical Teams Coordination Cell. Mercy Malaysia said it remains committed to its mission of providing medical relief and humanitarian assistance to communities in crisis while ensuring that the safety and well-being of its volunteers remain top priorities. The Foreign Ministry yesterday confirmed that all 6 members of Mercy Malaysia EMT have been evacuated from Rafah, Gaza in batches along with other international personnel. The batches departed for home on the 23rd, 24th and 28th of May, with the last 2 members leaving on the 31st of May. The body of the Malaysian climber who passed away at Mount Denali, Alaska, has been successfully recovered with the assistance of local authorities. Foreign Ministry through the Consulate General of Malaysia in Los Angeles, United States, said the body is currently at a local health office awaiting autopsy. It stated that the next of kin of the deceased has opted for the body to be repatriated to Malaysia. Alpine Club Malaysia, in a Facebook post, said that the climber Zulkifli Yusof, 37, reportedly died on the 29th of May while taking shelter in a snow cave known as the football field. The former mayor of the Johor Bahru City Council pleaded not guilty in the Johor Bahru Sessions Court today to 12 counts of accepting bribes amounting to 1.55 million ringgit between 2020 and 2021. Dato' Adib Azari Daud, 63, is alleged to have received money for himself as a reward for helping 2 men secure various projects through 12 different transactions. The projects included annual roadside landscape maintenance work for 28 months, annual maintenance work for pruning trees for 24 months, and maintenance work of the centralized sewage treatment plant and flood mitigation of Sungai Segit for 24 months. The charges were framed under Section 16, Subsection A, Subsection B of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009, which carries a prison sentence of not more than 20 years and a fine of not less of 5 times the value of the bribe or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher if convicted. Judge Siti Noraida Sulaiman allowed the accused bail of 120,000 ringgit for all charges in 2 Malaysian sureties, with the additional conditions of reporting to the Johor MACC office once a month, surrendering his passport to the court and not disturbing prosecution witnesses until the disposal of the case. The court fixed 3rd of July for remention and submission of documents. In Kota Baru Sessions Court, 2 Royal Malaysian Customs Department enforcement assistants were charged with accepting bribes amounting to 4,300 ringgit. Muhammad Faizul Mat Nasir and Muhammad Rasul Muhammad Zukri, both 34, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read separately before Judge Ahmad Bazli Baharudin. They were alleged to have received bribes from the owner of the Kalos enterprise by transferring money online to their respective bank accounts as an inducement to not inspect the company's lorries ferrying goods out of KLIA cargo. They were charged under Section 17, Subsection A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009, which provides for a maximum jail term of 20 years or a fine if convicted. Court set 21st of July for remention. Still in Kota Baru, the Royal Malaysian Customs Department foiled 54 smuggling attempts and tax evasion worth nearly 1.98 million ringgit through operations Palang Timur and Makmur 3 from the 2nd to the 31st of May. Kelantan Customs Director Wan Jamal Abdul Salam Wan Long stated that the operations were conducted jointly with the Terengganu and Pahang Customs as well as the Customs Field Operations Combat Team Cobra. Among items seized were smuggled cigarettes, 17.8 tons of frozen pork, 7,000 litres of diesel, alcoholic beverages, frozen chicken, rice and cloned vehicles. All the seized items were subject to the Customs Prohibition of Imports Order 2023 and 11 cases are being investigated under Section 135 of the Customs Act 1967. Still ahead in our business segment, Miti Motak Mal backing local artists' export of their work. The government has introduced various initiatives to advance technical and vocational education and training TVET in this country. Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who is also the National TVET Council Committee Chairman, said this includes the involvement of 12 ministries in the TVET Council, which clearly demonstrates the country's strong commitment to advancing the field. UP TVET has also been introduced to facilitate students to enroll into TVET learning institutions. In addition, international cooperation in providing TVET education and training has also been expanded. In a post on Facebook today, Dato Sri Ahmad Zahid said TVET is the key to a bright future and he often emphasized the importance for the young generation to prepare themselves with new skills to compete in the global arena. TVET not only provides technical knowledge but also shapes attitudes and practical skills needed in the industry. In conjunction with the 2024 National TVET Day today, the Deputy Premier expressed hope that it will inspire the young generation to venture into the field of technical and vocational education. He said with the right skills and training, the country will be able to produce a quality workforce which can compete at the global level. He also invited the public to the 2024 National TVET Day celebration, which will be held at the Industrial Training Institute Kuala Langat in Banting, Selangor on the 7th to the 8th of June. Telecommunications companies involved in the implementation of the dual network 5G model are ready to sign an agreement to take up equities in Digital National Berhad or DNB. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil's this development is in line with the timeline to complete the share subscription agreement process for DNB equity acquisition by the 21st of June. Fahmi said the second 5G network also focuses on additional aspects such as usage in the micro, small and medium enterprises and industrial sectors.
Rangkaian 5G paling boleh dimanfaatkan di kalangan industri dan PMKS. Jadi itulah sebab kenapa semalam mesyuarat melibatkan Kementerian Keuangan, MITI, Kementerian Digital dan Kementerian Komunikasi. Dan saya lihat rata-rata syarikat-syarikat telco hampir ataupun telah bersedia untuk menandatangani ataupun menyiapkan pengambilan equity dalam DNB. Kita jangkakan menjelang 21 hari bulan Jun ini.
The minister was met after attending the Junior Badminton Championship Road to NCT at Sport Arena, Sentosa. Yesterday, 4 key ministries, the Communication Ministry, Digital Ministry, Finance Ministry and Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry held comprehensive discussions to draft strategies and action plans for the implementation of the second 5G network. In May last year, the government announced the transition from the single wholesale network model for 5G to the dual network model. The Investment, Trade and Industry Ministry will discuss with the Tourism, Arts and Culture Ministry efforts to support local artists to export their works abroad. Its Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz said this collaboration could be done through the Malaysian External Trade Development Corporation, MATRADE and National Academy of Arts, Culture and Heritage Aswara.
Yang baru Pemikiran yang saya rasa sudah lama ada di dunia luar sana. Dan kita di sini perlu memberi lebih fokus bagaimana sebenarnya dari segi perdagangan pun, ya, dari segi ekspor kita boleh mengekspor kerja-kerja bakat tempatan kita, kerja-kerja artis kita ke luar negara. Kerana ia bukan saja dari segi monetary benefit ataupun dari segi kewangan, tetapi juga dari segi culture negara kita. And at the same time, kalau kita boleh bagi support pada artis-artis kita untuk perkembangkan lagi industri art kita ni ke luar negara, ini akan juga membantu ekonomi negara kita.
The minister was met after officiating the contemporary art exhibition Artconomics, a collaborative project between the University of Malaya Economic Society and University of Malaya Art Gallery. Earlier in his speech, Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul said art is not only about culture, which is always difficult to measure, but how the art industry can help drive the economy.
You look at Korea, for example. The economy, when you look at the industry, the art industry, from K-pop to K-culture, all the way to the F&B, it comes beginning with the strength of their culture, their arts and culture. So this is good that we start here.
The Malacca government's monthly program Malacca Bila Larut Malam, or MBLM, will feature various elements to attract more tourists to the state. Its Chief Minister Datuk Sri Abdul Rauf Yusof said it includes introducing new tourism packages and exciting programs that have an impact on all players in the tourism industry in conjunction with the Visit Malacca Year 2024.
Dia ada kelainan, pastinya ada kelainan pada bulan kedua. Menjurus kepada bulan 12, kita ada pelbagai program yang kita akan perkenalkan. Sudah pasti ada pakej-pakej baru yang untuk menggalakkan ramai lagi pengunjung yang datang ke Melaka. Jadi pihak-pihak pengusaha-pengusaha hotel, homestay, hotel-hotel bajet juga akan mendapat faedah daripada program yang kita sedang lancarkan ini.
He also said that more industry players, including shopping centres, are expected to participate in the MBLM, which is held from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. on the first Saturday of each month. The initiative indirectly provided small and medium-scale traders the opportunity to operate more hours than normal days, thus increasing their income as well as increasing the competitiveness of the tourism sector in the state. He added that more than 10,000 tourists visit several tourist destinations, which offered promotional ticket prices in conjunction with the MBLM. Technology industry players must step up to ensure that graduates are ready to meet surging demand for artificial intelligence AI talents, while also urging the government to support this initiative. Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Nazri Mahrin, Dean of University Technology Malaysia's Faculty of Artificial Intelligence, highlighted that the lack of AI talent is a significant challenge for companies globally as nations recognize AI's potential to boost their gross domestic product, GDP. According to Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry's AI Roadmap 2021 to 2025, Malaysia's GDP baseline growth is about 4.4%, with an additional 1.2% growth to be driven by AI. As such, Dr. Muhammad Nazri emphasized the need for industry players to take the steps necessary to address the talent gap. He projected that the country would need between 100,000 and 200,000 AI professionals within 5 years to support Malaysia's economic growth in the long term. He added that a good ecosystem is essential to approach the integration of AI with a balanced perspective, considering ethical implications, privacy concerns, and the need for digital literacy. The increased allocation for Sabah shows the government's dedication to reducing the socio-economic gap between Peninsular Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak. Dr. Abdul Rais Abdul Latif, Senior Lecturer of the Economics Division at the Centre for Social Sciences Studies of University Science Malaysia, states that the allocation is particularly beneficial for Sabah's infrastructure development. Elaborating, Dr. Abdul Rais said this will contribute to the further growth of the country's strong economy.
Melihat peruntukan di negeri Sabah telah dinaikkan daripada 12.9 bilion kepada 16 bilion. Ini menunjukkan bahawasanya komitmen atau pengumuman Perdana Menteri ini adalah untuk memastikan pertumbuhan yang seimbang, terutamanya di kawasan Sabah dan Sarawak.
Previously, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim mentioned that the distributed amount has increased compared to before, resulting in a higher allocation than the state government's requested 40% share. The ringgit is likely to remain in range-bound trading against the US dollar next week as markets further digest the global economic outlook. Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad Chief Economist Dr. Muhammad Afzal Nizam Abdul Rashid expected the local currency to linger in a narrow range around 4.7 after appreciating earlier in the week. He said the market's focus started to shift to the upcoming Federal Open Market Committee meeting, which is scheduled to convene on the 11th and 12th of June. He noted that the main issue affecting market sentiments is whether the Federal Reserve would cut the rates or let them remain as they are. Meanwhile, the US non-farm payrolls data for May is also anticipated to influence the market sentiment in the upcoming week. For the week just ended, the ringgit was traded mostly lower against a basket of major currencies. The local note fell against the British pound a week earlier, eased versus the euro but was marginally up vis-a-vis the Japanese yen. The local unit, however, was traded higher against ASEAN currencies. The crude palm oil CPO futures contract on Bursa Malaysia derivatives is expected to trade with a downside bias next week due to selling pressure amid a recent surge in prices. Palm oil trader David Ng said the rise in production is also keeping the pressure on the market sentiment. Interbank Group of Companies senior palm oil trader Jim Teh meanwhile said CPO futures are expected to trade between 3,700 ringgit and 3,800 ringgit a ton. Stock-wise, he said there are plenty of stocks in Malaysia and Indonesia, adding the physical demand will come from China, India, Pakistan and the West Asian countries. Elsewhere, one of the world's leading CPO producers, SD Guthrie Berhad, said moving forward, CPO price will remain supported due to continued geopolitical tensions and the anticipated effects of extreme weather events in producing countries, which may impact supply of vegetable oils globally. His Chief Operation Officer, Muhammad Haris Muhammad Arshad, said the price would remain fairly supportive and is looking at an average of over 4,000 ringgit per ton this year. For the week just ended, CPO futures were traded higher mainly due to the stronger palm oil exports performance. Adding to that, the rubber market is expected to continue trending upwards next week, mainly due to tight supply constraints and improved manufacturing demand, resulting in more raw materials being required. Malaysian Rubber Glove Manufacturers Association said the tight supply is caused by a lack of rubber tappers, extreme hot weather and chaotic shipping logistics, as well as the worsening conflict in West Asia. Meanwhile, a dealer said the local rubber market will continue to track the performance of regional rubber futures markets, the ringgit's strength against the US dollar and benchmark crude oil prices amid prevailing concerns over tight raw material supply in major producing countries due to extreme weather conditions. During this week, the local rubber market was traded lower in line with the downtrend in regional rubber futures markets. On Monday, the local rubber market ended higher with the price of SMR 20 surging to a new high for 2024. The Kuala Lumpur rubber market will be closed tomorrow for a public holiday in conjunction with the birthday of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and will resume operations the following day. In our foreign segment, Iran's ex-president Ahmadinejad to run in presidential election. Iran's hardline former President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad today registered his candidacy for a presidential election this month. The Islamic Republic will go to the polls on the 28th of June to replace ultra-conservative President Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash on the 19th of May. Ahmadinejad, 67, held the post for 2 straight terms from 2005 to 2013, a period marked by a standoff with the West, especially over Iran's nuclear program and his incendiary remarks on Israel. Like all presidential hopefuls, his bid is pending the approval of the Guardian Council, a conservative-dominated body of 12 juries that vets all candidates for public office. Ahmadinejad was previously disqualified from entering the presidential race in the 2021 and 2017 elections. Candidate registration opened on Thursday and closes on Monday. Other prominent figures, including ex-Parliament Speaker Ali Larijani and ultra-conservative former nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalili, have also registered their bids. The Guardian Council will announce the final list of candidates on the 11th of June after it has completed its vetting procedures. North Korea has floated another 600 trash-filled balloons across the border, with South personnel in hazmat suits seen collecting piles of rubbish containing everything from cigarette butts to bits of cardboard and plastic. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff called on the public to stay away from the rubbish heaps, though no hazardous substances have been found. The latest batch of balloons have been full of waste such as cigarette butts, scrap paper, fabric pieces and plastic. The balloons are landing in northern provinces, including the capital Seoul and the adjacent area of Gyeonggi, which are collectively home to nearly half of South Korea's population. South Korea's National Security Council is expected to meet to discuss a plan to respond to the balloons by resuming loudspeaker propaganda campaigns along the border with North Korea. In the past, South Korea has broadcast anti-Kim propaganda into the north, which infuriates Pyongyang. China's Chang'e 6 lunar probe successfully landed on the far side of the moon to collect samples, the latest leap for the Beijing's decades-old space program. China National Space Administration said the Chang'e 6 set down in the immense South Pole Edkin Basin, one of the largest known impact craters in the solar system. It marks the first time that samples will be collected from the rarely explored area of the moon. That process should be complete within 2 days. The probe will use 2 methods of collection: a drill to collect samples under the surface and a robotic arm to grab specimens from the surface. Then it must attempt an unprecedented launch from the side of the moon that always faces away from Earth. Scientists say the moon dark side holds great promise for research because its craters are less covered by ancient lava flows than the near side. Material collected from the dark side may better shed light on how the moon formed in the first place. That concludes this evening's Malaysia Tonight. In our top story, government orders immediate probe on claim of Israel container in Johor. Do tune into World Today, coming up tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on TV2. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I'm Olivia Nicholas. Thanks for watching.